fucking sterk, terwijl ze het eigenlijk niet echt zijn natuurlijk. Maar dan kom je, ja, daar zijn, hoor je eigenlijk hoger level te zijn. Als je eenmaal een beetje betere gear hebt, dan gaat het veel beter met je level omhoog bent. Vooral als je nou maar zeggen, met andere NPC's gaat doodmaken, is het voor jou handig dat je heavy armor aan hebt. En gewoon een schild gebruikt en zo. Oh? Zijn jullie dat die daar rondlopen? Zijn jullie dat die daar rondlopen? Dan lopen hier 2 mensen rond. Oh, wacht, daar ben jij misschien al in. Voor mij loop jij daar rond inderdaad. Iemand rent hier weg, toch? Oh ja, dat ben jij wel. Wat zeggen? Treasure. Ja, heel lekker natuurlijk. Maar we moeten sterven van de honger. Ja, ja. Waar ben je dan?
You picked the wrong campmate. Heb je patatjes gemaakt of gewoon besteld? Oh, bij zo. Oh ja, dat vind ik wel goed.
kistjes zijn leeg geloot. Alle kistjes zijn leeg geloot.
You picked the wrong path, mate.
Watch your flanks.
Dictator. Je bent er ook. Dictator. Wel. Doe dit, doe dat. Ja, ja. Hier, dat bedoel ik, leider. Dictator. Jeffrey, ik moet eigenlijk eten maken, maar ik ben lui, dus ik wil weer wat gaan bestellen, maar ik weet niet wat. Maar ik ben wel... Doei doetjes. No! No! Doodgevallen! Hoe dan? Ik druk de X. Ja, ik ging zo'n berg afglijden en ik drukte X, maar hij deed het niet. Pap dood. Het is hoe fucking lang ik moet lopen voor mijn spelletjes. Afblijven, heks. Nee, hè. Bescherm my body. Protect me. Protect me with your life. Geen flauw idee. Ergens in. Bij je lichaam. Conan! Ja, allemaal mijn schuld. Volgens mij kan je niet eens zien waar ik dood ben gegaan. Je kan wel zien waar ik ben, maar... Why did I die? I am immortal. I'm the immortal king. Weet je hoe fucking ver ik moet lopen? Oh jee, het laden duurt lang. Waarom duurt het zo lang? Echt hè? Nee. Behold my great castle. Ik ben heel even weg. Kom zo weer terug. Wow. Wait up, I was in a party. So let me... Oh, I fucking died. You know how far it is away. Oh, fucking shit, look how far. Fuck my little life. Oh, fucking shit, look how far. What's up, Open Alpha? What's up, Alpha Tazari? Ah, yes, the PlayStation 5. I was kinda surprised. I was really surprised that Sony basically already mentioned what the specs are basically going to be, sort of. And it's going to be sort of a, I'm not gonna say a beast or a powerhouse, because compared to PC, if you have money, you can still make a much better PC. But it is going to be a fucking big upgrade. Even comparing it to the PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X, it's gonna be a big ass upgrade. And did you know that Sony already announced that it's not coming out this year? It's not coming out in the next fiscal year, so it's not coming out before 2020 on April. So I have been saying this for fucking years. It's gonna be the end of 2020 that the PlayStation 5 is going to launch. That is what I am predicting. The end of 2020. That's like 7 years? Is it 7 years? No, it's now the 5th year. So in November is 6th year. Yeah, 7 years. So if it's coming, if the PlayStation 5 is going to come out next year at the end of the year, that's going to be 7 years for this generation. That is going to be, that's good. That is fine with me. Yeah. And specifically, the CPU is going to get a pretty significant boost. So, will we finally see 60 frames on every game? I think we will. I think this is the time. You know, I've been talking with a couple of my friends. This is basically going to be the last generation of gaming consoles. After the PlayStation 5, it's probably going to be streaming, digital, whatever. You know, it's going to be the last real gaming console. And I think they're going to be all out. Like, as we have been talking for many years now about what this console generation misses, and that is by far the 60 frames. It's not 4K graphics, it's not better graphics, because graphically a lot of games look really good, including this fucking awesome game. But 60 frames is what consoles are missing. Sony knows it, the developers knows it, Microsoft knows it, Nintendo knows it. So I think we are going to see 60 frames. Sony's also saying that it's gonna be 8K. Take that with a grain of fucking salt. But 4K at 60 frames is definitely doable. Yes, very nice. And if I'm not mistaken, Sony specifically mentioned the new generation of the Ryzen CPU. So it's not going to be like an old CPU modified. It's going to be like the new generation. So will we see a $400 PlayStation 4? I think no. I think that we are now, you know, in the sixth year of the PlayStation 4. The PS4 is almost at 100 million systems sold. It's on its way becoming the second most sold gaming console of all time, but it's still $300. It has only dropped in price $100. It is the first gaming system ever to not drop in price after so freaking long. So, if the question is the world ready for a $500 console? I think it is. I think that the world is ready. I think that if Sony plays their cards right, and I think they will, do what Nintendo did, release the PlayStation 5 with like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or The Last of Us 2 remake. I don't give a shit how they're gonna call it. I think that people will spend $500 on their game system. Oh, and by the way, that's something that we have been predicting, we have been talking about. Backwards compatibility. Sony has confirmed the PlayStation 5 is going to be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4. Now we all know with the online system structure of consoles nowadays, it means that developers can easily patch their PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation 5 and make the game run at 60 frames, at higher resolutions. Kind of what I've been predicting is the PlayStation 5 will basically be the perfect HD console. It's, all the PlayStation 4 games are hopefully going to be backwards compatible. Games like Neo, Sekiro, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, running at 60 frames, I would definitely play it again. Oh my god, it's gonna be fucking cool. Yes, well, we haven't heard anything about a Pro model, but as I mentioned, I really think that the world, and especially the gaming world, is ready for a little bit more expensive gaming system, but having a significant boost. If consoles will have 60 frames on all games, plus you can play all your PS4 games upgraded, upscaled, I think that a lot of gamers will see the benefit of that. I truly believe, will it sell as much as the PS4? I have no idea. I really do not know. I do know though is that Sony's strategy in making certain time frames a really big price cut, like probably on E3, you're gonna have the week place of days where the PlayStation 4 is gonna be $200. On Christmas, the PlayStation 4 is probably going to be $200. That has been deals that basically have broken sales record for the PlayStation systems, but not in a way that Sony has lost momentum or has lost a huge amount of money. So just imagine that they're gonna release the PlayStation 5 in like November 2020. All the hardcore fans and the big gamers are, and definitely if they have a killer game like, what's up the man, especially if they have like a killer game like you know, The Last of Us 2 or Death Stranding, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is probably like a given. I almost want to say like it's gonna be 100%, but I'm not certain about that. But just having one killer game at launch, I think that most gamers will definitely pick up the system. And they can market it, like I have been saying, they can market it saying it, all the good PS4 exclusive games are running at 60 frames. Imagine Days Gone that has some frame rate issues, especially with the bigger hordes, running at 60 frames. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? Talking about Days Gone, by the way, I was really disappointed. I was hoping for at least a good game. I was hoping for like an 8.2 Metacritics. At the end, it's like 7.2, 7.3. Some people really liked it, some people didn't like it. It seems that the game's going to get boring very quickly. You know, I haven't bought a single game. I actually can't remember the last time I bought a game. Tales of Vesperia, holy shit, that is February. Holy fuck. Tales of Vesperia was my last game I bought, and that is in February. It's now freaking almost May. And this game that I'm playing right now is the biggest damage dealer. I have been playing this game like a freaking motherfucker, as you can see. I've been building, if you play Conan Exiles, you know that building a building like this takes, oh my god, so many hours. But it looks fucking cool though. And I have been raided a couple of times. I'm playing with a big group of people. And I have been raided a couple of times, and I actually got a couple of messages saying that, you know, they raided me, but they didn't destroy a lot because it looks so fucking cool and stuff. So that I'm really happy about that. That I don't mind being raided, but I would mind if they would destroy everything just to destroy it. I would be pretty pissed. Because, I mean, look how cool it looks. Oh yeah, I got my stuff back. So yeah, I am really excited. If they would release the PlayStation 5 this year, I would probably be okay with it. And you know, at the beginning of this year, I did have a mindset of like, okay, you know, the PlayStation 5 is probably going to come out this year. You know, I would be fine with it. But if it would come out next year at the end, that is basically guaranteed, I would be so fucking happy. This generation, even though I have not played that many games this couple of months, even though I have not bought that many games this year, I mean this year, this generation, gaming-wise, is, in my opinion, the second best ever. Like, just the sheer amount of games I played and the sheer amount of games that are actually good. And I want to say like, oh no, PlayStation 1 is better, or you know, and the PlayStation 1 quality-wise is better. There are a lot more games that I like, especially Japanese RPGs. But the thing is, I haven't played those. You know, when I was young, I only had a handful of PlayStation 1 games that I played die hard. And even though stuff like Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 are one of the best games ever created, it cannot fight against the sheer amount of incredible games that I played, still need to play, and have played on the PlayStation 4. And to be honest, this is kind of like a stupid thing to say, but in my opinion, the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 kind of fit together. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like, I have played a lot of PlayStation 1 on my PlayStation 2. I know it's stupid, they are different generations, but I don't see them as different generations. Like the PS1 and PS2 are like my childhood systems. In my mind, they will always be the best ever. Nothing can ever beat those. And that is mostly nostalgia. Because if you would play PlayStation 1, you know that graphically the games will look so much better. So if I would compare, like, you know, the PlayStation 1, 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, the Switch, I have the Switch. The PlayStation 4 would be the second. If we PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, it would be the second best generation that I have ever lived with, from start to finish. But for collectors, because don't get me wrong, if we're talking about collecting games, it's not as bad as the PS3, but it's not as good as older generations. And it will never be as good, because patches are here to stay, and a game like Conan Exiles has been patched so much that if I would play the physical version, it would almost feel like a different game. So if I would buy a physical version for Conan Exiles, it is only as sort of a historical reminder of like, hey, remember this game that I played. Thank God for strictly limited run games, rare games, strictly rare games, East Asia Soft, for pumping out huge amounts of physical games that a lot of them are unpatched because all the patches are on disc. Thank God for them. They, especially limited run, this was, by the way, the base of the people I play with, but they abandoned it. Thank God for limited run. Without limited run and without the whole indies getting physical releases, this generation would have been a little bit worse, especially for collecting. But oh my God, you know, stuff like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn are still very good from the disc. You know, they're still really good, but they are probably a little bit better patched. And that's something I will honestly say, you probably will not feel it if you play like a game on PlayStation 5, since, as I mentioned, they can easily put the patches on PlayStation 5. So stuff like God of War can still be played fully for years and years to come. So that is like the only benefit that I will give digital medium, is that if they want to, they can patch the game, they can let the patch be online forever. But yeah. Oh, you played Days Gone? Yes, I got. That's actually the last game that I bought for limited run is Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon, or you're talking about that retro style Bloodstained, right? Because the other game is just coming out physically. Is my tiger already back? No, it's not. So I liked this game so much that I got 2 DLC packs. I got the Chinese DLC pack, as you can see, and I got the Greek one. I love ancient Roman and Greek architecture. That's probably why I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey so much, because the game is so fucking good looking. Not just in the amount of polygons or pixels, just the art style, ancient Greek, holy shit. But yeah, you know, the limited run now has Lumines and Giga Wrecker, I think. And I am interested in both of those, but I have pledged myself to not buy. I have pledged myself to not spend my salary money on games that I have to work more hours, you know, do overwork, do overtime, and that money I can spend on games. But believe it or not, the same week that I told myself this is what I'm going to do, the overwork stopped. Yes, that's just like, what? So this past 2 months there hasn't been overwork, so there was no budget for the games. But my boss, employer, whatever how you want to call it, happily mentioned last week, or this week, sorry, because it's Sunday, that the overwork is starting again. It's going to get really busy again. So I was really happy, like, yes! Even if it's like 2 hours in a week, you know, $30, I don't care. I can still, you know, get some games. So I'm happy about that. Put it in the dryer. Anyone that does not know what this game is, this is a Minecraft game. It plays almost exactly like Minecraft in the world of Conan, and it is, I won't say realistic, it's more in detail, it's more, especially like the refining process. For example, you have to farm ironstone, right? You put it in the furnace and you get iron. If you want steel, you'll go to your fireball cauldron, you farm brimstone, you go to your tannery, you skin hides, you get steel fire. Tar. You get tar, you put that in your fireball cauldron with the brimstone. Where is it? Here it is. You create steel fire, right? When you create steel fire, like this, you put it in the furnace with iron, like this, put it on, and you will get steel bar. Do you want to have a hardened steel? You put brimstone and in a furnace, and you get hardened steel. So where Minecraft is basically go find iron, melt it, and you get iron, here you have to do a lot of processes to make the stuff and make it stronger. Now, it is an online game. We are at a PvP server. It's a huge open world though. There was a lot of NPC stuff, a lot of PvE stuff. And this was our old base. And so resources do respawn. So especially when you're at a point where there's a lot of resources, you can build up a base pretty quickly. Especially, well, you can get the resources quickly. But a base like this, it took me 2 weeks to build. And as you can see, It's not even done yet. It's not even done yet. There's a lot of work to be done still. What I also like is that there are time frames in the game where you can raid, so basically destroy or steal other players their stuff. They can blow up this wall, for example, or blow a hole in the wall. That's from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And after that, you cannot damage buildings. Now, what I really like about this game, it's so fucking cool. It gives you a kind of a security feeling. It's so weird. But if you have better walls, as I have here, as I'm maximum level already, you have walls with spikes. And these spikes are really expensive to make. You have to make with steel. But you cannot climb over them. You will, if you want to climb, you will fall down and you cannot climb over those walls. So basically, especially when there is no raiding time, no one can ever come into this base. It's just impossible. There are spikes everywhere. That creates a very unique feeling in a video game of being secured. I know that at the moment I am not secured. After 11 I am. There could be a raiding party blowing up my gate and killing all my defenders. It's pretty easy to be done. And they can easily get all my stuff. But when the raid time is over, I know that no one can enter. And that's a feeling that I haven't really felt in the game. On the player list, it's really cool. You can see a clan. So a clan is like a kingdom, right? So we are John Pillagers, and we are actually with a lot of us. We're at the moment 9 of us. They're not all online, and the Vikings is our arch enemy. Now, why are they our arch enemy? That is because when we started playing this game 2.5 weeks ago, these guys were already level 60 and they raided us. And we were really like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? We are just low-level players. We have absolutely zero chance of winning, and you're gonna raid us? Like, really? But somehow we managed to kill one of those. We took their epic gear, and they basically said that we are at war forever on this server because we stole their epic gear. Now, epic gear is pretty hard to make. We know where they are, and we are already planning on destroying them. Basically, you know, pillaging them, wiping their base, just fucking them up. But a couple of us needs to be level 60, and then we'll have like a full level 60 force. But especially because I'm a builder, as you can see, most of the time what I am doing is running back and forth to try and get resources. You know, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but somehow I really like it. And I know almost for a fact this has to be one of the coolest structures on this server. We have seen a lot of the server, and nobody has like sort of a role play kind of. Everyone has like a castle, like a little castle on a mountain or whatever, but no one is really trying to do like a role play. What we are doing, because basically we are here. So I am here. Here are a couple of our people. Here are a couple of our people. Here's a couple of our people. So we as a group say we control this river. So I am actually the border fortress. This is where our empire kind of starts. This is the border defense, border fortress, whatever how you want to call it. And we control this entire region. So that's kind of cool. We're still setting it up. We are still. You can also put signs for other players to see. So I still need to put up a sign like, "Hey, you're crossing the border," whatever. But we are trying to create like a little bit of a role-playing server, and the Vikings are kind of the big enemy. So that's pretty cool. I'm also working on something pretty cool. So this is like the, it's not secret or something. It's a drawbridge. They have been updating this, I think a couple of months ago. Really cool. As you can see, to a tower. Now this is just a tower in the middle of the fucking water. Right, middle of the water. So you can swim. You can do basically everything, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit more secured than having it on the ground. And maybe this is gonna be like a treasure chamber or whatever. It's probably going to be a vault room. But I thought it was kind of cool to do. To make something trying to be a little bit secured. When the other players, teammates were still playing in the other side of the river. This was their castle. It got raided, and basically the one who managed the castle was like, fuck it, I'm going somewhere else. But I actually wanted to build a bridge between the fortress and his fortress, so we could actually control the whole river, basically blocking it. But since they have been gone, I was like, let's make sort of a big vault room here and see what happens. I really like the look of the drawbridge though. Really cool, really cool. With Conan Exile, especially if you play like your own server, I have my own server by the way, you can build some fucking cool castles, really cool castles. And I'm a huge fan of castles. It's basically the only thing that I do in Minecraft. And here, they do look a little bit better. They do look a little bit better. So that's really cool. Here's a little house. I have like for everyone, I have a little house that when they're going towards the border, they can put their stuff here, whatever. But yeah, guys, I'm going back to the other party, and I still need to get some food. I enjoyed our little chat, and I promise I will be making more videos. I especially need to talk about the PlayStation 5. There has been so many things about the PlayStation 5, and I have been pretty silent about it. So I really need to do so. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for chatting. And you're definitely going to see me next time.